From the stage, I could see them perfectly. My family. Front row center. My mother, Cynthia, was beaming, her phone held high, already taking a selfie. My father, Mark, was next to her, patting her back, looking proud. And my twin sister, Chloe, was waving at me, her smile as bright and effortless as always. They looked like the perfect, supportive family, thrilled to be at my medical school match day, holding a sealed envelope that decided my future. They thought they were here to watch me succeed. They thought they were just here to celebrate. They had no idea they were really here to listen. They didn't know the entire auditorium was about to learn how I succeeded. That their quiet, lifelong betrayal was about to go public. Before we dive in, have you ever felt like the invisible one in your own family? Let me know your story down in the comments. And tell me, where in the world are you listening from right now? In our family, I was the workhorse. My twin sister, Chloe, was the show pony. This wasn't a choice. It was a job I was given. I was born 3 minutes before her. And I think in those 3 minutes, my parents decided I was the responsible one. The strong one. I learned the difference when we were 6. I was climbing the big oak tree in our backyard, trying to see over the neighbor's fence. I went one branch too high. It snapped. I fell. Hard. I hit the ground and my knee split open on a rock. It was deep. The kind of cut that scares you. I limped inside, crying, holding my knee, leaving a trail of muddy, bloody dots on the kitchen tile. My mother, Cynthia, was at the counter. She turned around, sigh hid, and grabbed a paper towel. "Oh, Larissa, look at this mess," she said. Her voice wasn't mean. It was just flat, tired. She handed me the paper towel and a single Band-Aid. "Go to the bathroom. You're a strong girl. Clean yourself up." I went to the bathroom by myself. I sat on the edge of the tub, washing the dirt and gravel out of my own knee, biting my lip to stop screaming as the soap stung. I did it myself. I had to be strong. 2 weeks later, Chloe was sitting on the sofa, watching cartoons. She sniffled. One tiny, delicate sniffle. My mother heard it from the kitchen. She dropped what she was doing. My father, Mark, looked up from his newspaper. They both ran over. "Oh," my poor baby mom cooed, wrapping Chloe in a thick blanket. "Mark, do get the orange juice. Do you need a pillow? Are you cold?" My dad came running back with the juice and a thermometer. "You're burning up," he said, putting his hand on her forehead. She wasn't. I just stood in the doorway, watching. My knee still had a big, puffy scab on it. I got a paper towel. She got a throne. This was how it always was. Chloe was the show pony, meant to be admired, protected, and displayed. I was the workhorse, meant to be durable, reliable, and self-sufficient. Nobody ever praises a tractor for running. They just expect it to. It was in our bedrooms. When we turned 13, my mom redecorated. Chloe's room, the bigger one, was painted soft pink. She got a new white bed frame, a vanity, and matching curtains. It looked like a page from a magazine. I was moved into the attic room. It was cold in the winter and boiling in the summer, and the walls were a dull beige. When I asked if I could paint it, my mom just looked confused. "Why, it's a room, isn't it?" The real symbol came when we turned 18. Our high school graduation. I woke up to my parents shaking Chloe awake, singing happy birthday. They led her outside, blindfolded. On the driveway was a brand new white SUV. It was gleaming, with a giant red bow on the hood. Chloe screamed and jumped into our dad's arms. My mom was crying tears of joy. "You deserve it, sweetie." Then, my dad turned to me, jingling another set of keys. "And for you, Larissa," he said, smiling. He pointed to the curb. It was the old family sedan, the 15-year-old one, the one with 180,000 miles. A dent in the passenger door, and a check engine light that had been on since 2012. I looked at her brand new SUV, I looked at my rattling 15-year-old hand-me-down. Thank you, I whispered. My throat felt tight. My father, Mark, just clapped me hard on the shoulder. It builds character. Kid, he said, as if he were giving me a gift. You're the strong one. After all, the divide between us only got wider in college. I graduated as the valedictorian of the pre-med program. Chloe. She made it through the communications program with a solid C+ average. We all sat down at the kitchen table to discuss the future. It felt less like a family meeting and more like a shareholders report. My mother, Cynthia, started, clapping her hands together. Well? First, a little celebration. We're sending Chloe to Europe for 6 weeks, just to travel. Find some inspiration before she has to get a real job. Chloe squealed, already grabbing her phone to look up flights to Paris. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. My father, Mark, smiled. You've earned it. Sweetheart, you're our little social butterfly. Then, the table went quiet. All eyes turned to me. And Larissa, my father said, his voice shifting. It became more serious. Like he was talking to a colleague. Not his daughter. Med school. That's the plan. Right. It's a lot. It is, I said, keeping my voice steady. I had my presentation ready. I've been accepted. But the tuition is more than my scholarships cover. I'll need you to co-sign the student loans. I paused, taking a breath. And there's one other thing. To keep the dean's scholarship, I have to score in the top percentile on the MCAT. There's a mandatory prep course. It's expensive. It's $2,500? My mother's smile tightened. My father just nodded slowly, steepling his fingers. $2,500, he repeated, like I'd asked for $1 million. Let us talk it over. Larissa, we'll let you know. That night, I was heading down from my attic room to get a glass of water. I walked past their bedroom. The door was open just a crack. And I heard them talking. I heard my name. I stopped. It's just too expensive. Cynthia. My father, Mark, said. His voice was low. Frustrated. Medical school is a huge risk. What if she doesn't make it? My mother sighed. It was a long, tired sound. And Chloe, she said. Chloe really needs that deposit for her new apartment downtown. You know she's no good with money. Mark. Her image. Her social life. It's important for her future. There was a long silence. I could hear the ice cubes clinking in my father's glass. Then, he said the words. The words that finally severed the last thread. You're right, he said. We'll cover Chloe's deposit. As for Larissa, Larissa's smart. She's strong. She'll get scholarships. She'll figure it out. It's an investment, not a gift. I stood there in the dark hallway, my hand gripping the doorframe, and I finally understood. It's a strange and cruel thing that happens in some families. It's called parental role assignment. It's a psychological trap. One child is assigned the role of the needy one, the show pony. They are seen as delicate, creative, and needing constant support. Every normal effort they make is celebrated as a massive achievement. And the other child is assigned the role of the competent one, the workhorse. They don't call you this as a compliment. They call you strong and independent and clever as a justification for neglect. It's their permission slip to leave you alone. It's the excuse they use to absolve themselves of the responsibility of caring for you. My strength wasn't a gift. It was my burden. My competence was my punishment. I was the workhorse. And I was finally realizing I was on my own. My first year of medical school wasn't a life. It was a ghost story. I was a ghost who haunted the hallways of the hospital. By day, I was a student, sitting in the back of the lecture hall, trying to absorb the complexities of human anatomy while my eyes burned. By night, I was an orderly on the surgical floor. I worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I changed bedpans. I restocked supplies. I cleaned up messes I'm not allowed to describe. I walked the same halls I would one day walk as a doctor. But I was invisible, breathing in the sharp Sterile smell of the world I was trying to join, but wasn't yet allowed in. On weekends, I had a second job. A phlebotomist. I drew blood for 8-hour shifts. My hands steady. My smile pasted on. While my feet ached, I ate ramen noodles in the break room, counting the $30 in tips. I was a machine made of coffee, adrenaline, and a cold, simmering rage. But the machine was breaking down. The MCAT was in 3 weeks. The mandatory $2,500 prep course. The one I needed to guarantee the high score to keep my scholarship. Was starting, and I didn't have the money. I was going to fail. After all of it. After the attic room. The old car. The double shifts. I was going to be kicked out of medical school because I was $2,500 short. I sat in my tiny, cold apartment, staring at the wall. I had one last, stupid, flickering ember of hope. The hope that if I begged, if I truly showed them I was broken, they would finally see me. My hands were shaking. I dialed the number. My mother, Cynthia, answered. Her voice was breezy. Happy. Larissa. What a surprise. We never hear from you. How's school? Hi. Mom. My voice was small. I hated it. School is. It's hard. Mom. I'm in trouble. Her tone changed. It was instant. The breeze was gone. Now it was ice. What kind of trouble? She snapped. What did you do? It's not. It's tuition. It's the MCAT course. I stammered. Shame burning my throat. I'm short. I'm $2,500 short. I just need a loan. Mom, I swear I'll pay you back. I can't do it. I'm going to be dropped from my classes if I can't pay for this. There was a long silence. I could hear the TV in the background at her house. People laughing on a sitcom. Larissa, she finally said. And her voice was so tired. It was the "you are a problem" voice. You're talking about money. Again. You know. Your father and I are very busy helping Chloe get settled in her new apartment. She needs us right now. You've always figured these things out. I can't figure this out. Mom. The words ripped out of me. Despérate. I'm going to fail. Please. I'll be kicked out. Then she sighed. It wasn't a sigh of sadness. It was a sigh of pure annoyance. Like I'd asked her to drive me to the mall in the rain. Listen, she said. Her voice suddenly very calm. Very clear. Chloe deserves the best possible start in her new life. She deserves our help. She paused, and then she delivered the kill shot. As for you, you just need to work harder. That's what you're good at. Isn't it? Click. She hung up. I sat there, holding the dead phone to my ear. I listened to the dial tone. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. The anger was gone. The hurt was gone. There was just a void. A cold. Quiet. Empty space. The little girl inside me. The one who had spent 22 years climbing out of her attic room, hoping one day they would finally look up and see her. She died in that phone call. It was over. I was finally, completely, and totally on my own. I was trying to study for the MCAT between shifts. I hadn't really slept in 72 hours. I was in the hospital library at 3 a.m. My head on an open copy of a biochemistry textbook. I told myself I would just close my eyes for 1 minute. I woke up to a sharp voice. Dr. Larissa. I jerked up, my heart pounding. My mouth was dry. Dr. Stephen Roth, the chief of surgery, was standing over me. He was a legend in the hospital. A man known for his terrifying precision and zero tolerance for weakness. I was just a student in his surgical rotation. I was mortified. I'm sorry. Sire. I stammered, trying to wipe the drool off my cheek. I was just reviewing. He didn't look angry. He just looked at me, his eyes scanning my face. He looked at my textbook, at the meticulous, color-coded notes that covered the entire table. Then he looked back at me. You're the best student in my rotation. Larissa, he said. His voice was quiet, but it cut through the silence. You have the best hands I've seen in a decade. But you look like a ghost. What is going on? I don't know why. But I told him. Maybe it was the exhaustion. Maybe it was because, for the first time, someone had called me the best instead of just strong. I told him the truth. I have to work. Sire. I'm an orderly on the surgical floor. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm a phlebotomist on weekends. I'm trying to save up for the MCAT course. Doctor. Roth just stared at me. He didn't offer pity. He didn't say I'm sorry. He just nodded. Like I was presenting a case. You're trying to be a surgeon. But you're working yourself to death as an orderly. It's a waste of your talent. He was quiet for a full minute. I need a research assistant, he said finally. It's boring work. Data analysis for a paper on aortic valve replacements. It pays less than your 2 jobs combined. But it's medicine. Real. Medicine. And you can do it on your own time. He paused. Stop cleaning bedpans. Larissa. Start using your brain. My office? Monday at 9 a.m. That was the turning point. I quit both jobs. I was poorer. But for the first time in my life, I was sleeping. I worked for Dr. Lee Roth. And it was brutal. He was demanding. Meticulous. And he treated me like a colleague. Not a child. He never once called me strong. He called me precise. He called me capable. It was better than any compliment my family had ever given me. 3 months later, I was in his office going over data. He didn't look up from his computer. There's a scholarship I'm nominating you for, he said. The Surgical Heritage Scholarship. Full tuition. Full living stipend. It pays off any existing student debt. The application is a nightmare. I just stared. Sir. I probably don't qualify for something like that. He finally looked up. And his eyes were sharp. This isn't a normal scholarship. Larissa. It wasn't founded by some corporation. It was founded by Dr. Feining. Heiress. The first chief of surgery at this hospital. He was a scapegoat. 2. My heart stopped. Dr. Roth explained that the donor's family had spent everything on his brother's failed business, leaving him to figure it out. He did by creating a scholarship for one hardworking student each year. The workers. Not the displays. He saw that in me. The essay was my weapon. Describe the personal and financial challenges you've overcome. I wrote every truth about the old car. The cold attic. The debts. The contrast between workhorse and show pony. No emotion. Just facts. Dr. Roth read it. Nodded once. This will do. 3 weeks later, the email arrived I'd won. Loans erased. Tuition paid. Stipend granted. The struggle was over. I was free. I cried for the first time in years. 4 years later, I was valedictorian. Chloe was still an influencer living off our parents. On match day, my mother chirped about Chloe's Bali trip. I invited them to my ceremony anyway. When the dean announced my award, he added, she achieved all this while working overnight shifts without any financial help from her family. The silence in the front row was deafening. My mother's smile shattered. My father looked stunned. Chloe froze. Their secret neglect was now public. I matched to Chicago. The applause thundered. I met their eyes, felt nothing. Freedom. Afterward. My mother hissed that I'd embarrassed them. My father mumbled excuses. Chloe cried. Confused. I walked away. That night in Chicago, they texted about Bali and family dinners. I replied, I'm busy. Sometimes, cutting family isn't cruelty. It's survival. It's the surgery that saves your life.